we did it. Guys, we just installed the LED V2 shallow water anchor navigation light on the 8-foot Minn Kota Raptors, and we filmed the whole thing, so we're gonna show you guys exactly how we did it.
Very happy that I never have to use this nav light again. Recently, I had some work done over at Hydrilla Gear. Rich installed these brand new Raptors for my shallow water anchors, and he also completely redid my steering. While we were at it, he dipped into my starboard side rod locker and he texted me and was like, dude, really, what the heck is this? And he convinced me to pick up one of his lights, and we're gonna do an installation video today. Just to clear things up real quick, this is the highest quality, best nav light that you can put on your shallow water anchor, whether it's a power pole or a Raptor, on the market. So when you get the kit, here's everything that you need, including all of your electrical connections, obviously your nav light, and then it comes with a manual here that's going to tell you which tools that you need and also what's included in the package itself. Assuming that your anchor's in the upright position, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and deploy that until we hit the ground. All right, so there's two bolts right here that are holding the spike in place. We're going to loosen the top bolt and we're going to completely take it off. So we're going to go ahead and back this lock nut off, pull the bolt out, and then the kit actually includes a bolt that's a little bit longer because that's going to fit that bracket onto there, well, the nav light itself. So we're going to go ahead, put that in there. We're going to grab our nav light. So the bottom of the nav light here, you can see this is like a honeycomb hexagonal shape, and that's just going to fit right in here, flush just like that. Really all I'm going to do now is just reinstall this lock nut. Go ahead and hand tighten that down until I can't anymore. Go ahead and tighten that up. Get that nice and snug. I'm gonna grab my 9/32 drill bit and I'm gonna make my first hole right about here. Reason why we have to drill, we have to drill 2 holes just to clean this up a little bit. This cable right here is gonna run through a hole here and then through here. And then the kit includes a little sticky pad with a zip tie, and that's gonna stick up in here. Fucking we ball, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna go through here, all the way through there. Okay. All right, so we got our 2 holes drilled out. There's a little zip tie here holding the cables. So I'm gonna cut that zip tie off and I'm gonna feed my wire through the 2 holes that I just drilled. In the hole. Got it through the first hole. I got it through the second hole. Now we're gonna pull this all the way through, like so. Look how clean that looks. Rich is a genius. So I got my isopropyl alcohol, shop towels, some watermarks up in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give that a nice good clean so that that adhesion pad really sticks to the bottom side of this channel. So here are the adhesive cable ties. We're gonna remove this red backing, and what we're gonna do is from the knuckle, we're gonna put our first adhesive cable tie about 6 inches from the knuckle. I'm gonna say that's about 6 inches right there. I'm gonna go ahead and install that, and then I'm going to zip tie the cable itself, but I'm gonna leave a little bit of slack. I don't know if you can see that on video, but we're probably gonna leave about that much slack. And we're gonna tighten this cable tie just enough. You don't wanna over tighten it, but you wanna tighten it enough so that that cable doesn't slide through, so you want it to be snug. Put it right in the center. Right about there. Go ahead and press that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and tighten up our zip tie. Again, we're just gonna go snug. You gotta get the proper amount of slack in there, which we're probably gonna leave. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and install my second sticky pad here, and we're gonna go right above the cylinder up over here. So I'm gonna clean the area. We're gonna put it right there. So Jen actually made a pretty good point, which is pretty common, to actually zip tie my cable first and then go ahead and put my sticky pad up in my U channel. All right, so we got that area nice and clean. We're gonna peel our backing off, and we're gonna go right here, right above the cylinder. So I got my pad in place. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up my zip tie. So my cable from this right here, which is about halfway down the channel, to my first zip tie up here, which is about 6 inches from the bracket. The cable between these two is pretty tight, but you do want to have a little bit of slack here. And the reason why not to over tighten these zip ties is when you're deploying your shallow water anchor, you want there to be a little bit of movement. You don't want there to be too much slack in the cable, but you don't want it to be too tight, because then it will obviously cause other issues like possible breakage. So these are 8-foot Raptors. Rich includes 3 sticky pads with 3 zip ties in case you have 10-foot Raptors or 10-foot blades. So I'll only need to use 2. So what I'm doing is I'm running the remainder of the cable on the top side of this U channel up over the cylinder. So now that I got my cable outside of the channel here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna zip tie that cable together with the hydraulic hoses, just like that. So what I'm gonna do next is I have some transducer and my jack plate cables coming in up here through underneath the rub rail. So I'm gonna take this screw out. I had it siliconed in there. All right, so I was able to fish that wire through there, as you can see. We'll go ahead and reinstall this back in place, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of silicone to close that back off. This is where, on your starboard side, typically you install your stern light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove these 4 screws. I'm gonna take that out just like that. There's gonna be a white cable and a black cable. This one's a little dirty, but this is the white cable. So I had this receptacle removed. Before you wiretap these 2 cables right here, make sure your main power is off so that you can't turn your nav light on and off. It's gotta be off. So here you can see you got a white or a grayish cable and then a black cable. Your black is negative and your white or gray cable is positive. So I'm gonna take this wiretap right here and go ahead ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and install that. So I got my positive wire tap installed. Next, I'm going to install my negative wire tap. So I got my positive and my negative wire taps. You'll hear them click when you press them down. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my positive and negative from the nav light, and I'm gonna fish it through up inside here. Probably gotta get into the boat. I'm gonna bring the cables out. Take my cables, come in through here, and fish them through. Jen's gonna grab them. You got them? Mm-hmm. So she's gonna pull them out just like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my positive side, and I'm gonna crimp that in there, crimp it in, and then I'm gonna use a heat gun to heat shrink and seal that, so I don't have to use any kind of heat shrink over that or any kind of electrical tape or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my positive side, make sure that's all the way up in there, take my crimping tool, and give it a nice little tug, make sure that's solid, and it is. Gonna go ahead and do the other side. We're gonna do the other side. That up in there like that. All right, so I got my positive connected, and now I'm gonna go ahead, black on black. Go ahead and connect that just like that. And before we heat shrink it, we're just gonna turn the power on, just make sure it works. Bam!
Woo! That is bright.
I'm just gonna go ahead and heat shrink this connector. That whole part there. So as you can see, we heat shrink that. That's nice and waterproof. We're gonna go ahead and tuck all this back inside, reinstall this, grab my 4 screws, and we're good to go. So the wire tap is key because I still have power to this. So in case that light goes out and I do have a spare stern light, I can use that. Or if you film GoPro and you have a YOLO Tech, I still have power here. So I'll be able to use a YOLO Tech and power up my GoPro.